Welcome to this UK guide on opium poppies. In this video we'll be looking at opium poppies, from seed to flower, some of their characteristics and their aesthetic value. We'll look at the context and background of this controversial plant and how and why you should grow it and enjoy it. Papaver Somniferum, or opium poppies, are widely known for producing the illegal drugs morphine, heroin and opium, or other opiates, which have a wide range of uses, from being used for illegal recreational highs to legal medicinal uses, which include painkillers. It is illegal to use opiates for recreational use in the UK and the United States and in many other countries. Opium poppies are cultivated worldwide for three main purposes, apart from the illegal drugs uses. The seeds are edible and are often used in multi-seed bread loaves, cakes and pastries. The pharmaceutical industry uses opium to manufacture licensed medicines. Lastly, poppies are cultivated for their aesthetic value as flowering plants. This is what this video will be focusing on. As a plant, it is an extremely attractive architectural and ornamental plant which pops up wild in many places. We frequently mistake these for weeds and destroy them before they have a chance to reach maturity and display their glorious colour flowers, which come in both singles and pleated doubles. Colours range from white through to pinks, reds and purples. The brassica-like distinctive leaves are recognisable from an early stage, being slightly more green-blue in colour and standing a little more upright than similar looking weeds. Poppy seeds are tiny and hundreds come out of the seed heads when they are released. Apparently, on average, it takes 100 seeds sown for one to grow to maturity. All the others don't make it. So when we have them growing, we should value and identify them and protect them to grow to maturity. Poppy seeds prefer harsh treatment, which includes poor soil, poor access to moisture and limited direct sun. However, they do like some space and don't like to compete with other plants nearby, which may stunt their growth. Because of their architectural nature, opium poppies make great companions for edible crops, which can benefit from being provided with some shade and protection from pests such as roaming foxes and cats, which might get into your vegetable patch. Poppies don't generally like being transplanted, as this stunts their growth both from the root disturbance and from the change in the environment. The season's weather also has an effect on how quickly they will grow and when they will flower. Some gardeners are obsessive poppy growers and devote vast amounts of garden space to growing them. I don't think this is making best use of your garden when it could be being used for growing more productive plants. However, a liberal scattering of poppies adds a decorative dimension, especially when you have interesting varieties, and the bees, wasps and pollinators love them. Also, some gardeners devote excessive amounts of time to cultivating them, when really they need no care at all. Poppies can, by and large, take care of themselves. Here are my poppies in early season and my commentary on them. Here we're identifying young poppies. Note the distinct blue-green colour of the leaves and the forming leaf structure. I've left these undisturbed, but we can clearly see they have strong competition from the weeds and each other. I don't expect these to be anything more than dwarfs. poppies pop up in quite unexpected places. Here they have popped up in a bucket in which I was growing spring onions. They've even popped up in my tomato plants. And here they've grown in amongst the weeds. Here we can see 3 small poppies. All have stunted growth from the excess competition around them, and they have exposed their heads early. This poppy is approximately 5 centimeters in size. You can see the leaves clearly indicate that it is a poppy. When de-weeding, be careful to identify poppies from the weeds. These 2 poppies, found growing amongst my planted sycamores, I will allow and nurture to maturity. Likewise, this poppy, in with my buctus cutting. These are already well developed at approximately 15 centimeters in size. These poppies I transplanted from another patch where they were too close together. Their growth had already been stunted, but it was worth risking moving them to a new piece of ground to give them a better chance. But as we can see, these are 10 to 15 centimeters in height and the head is already out, so these are stunted poppies. This open pink is approximately 20 centimeters in height, with more heads to come. These are marginally bigger at 25 centimeters in height and still growing. And these poppies I also risked to a transplant into this spare space in my garden. They're doing quite well, but they will remain dwarfs. As you can see, their heads are already showing. These mature singles are pinks. At 30 centimeters in height, reaching maturity, their growth has been stunted by the nearby competition. However, the bees love the pollen they are feasting on. This mature pink single is the tallest poppy so far, at about 50 centimeters. The bee is having a great time. And growing underneath and right next to the tallest poppy are these shorter ones, which are stunted by their close proximity to each other, and their heads are already showing. This pair of poppies I found growing in this bucket left over from last season. I left them to grow to maturity, and here we can see this first one has grown to a good height and has opened to be a glorious red pleated double. This mature, bright red, pleated double is just on the verge of opening. And here we see, a couple of days later, this pleated double has opened to be a glorious red. I hope you've enjoyed this video on opium poppies. and hope you will think about growing more yourselves soon. Until next time, thanks for watching.